Welcome back to Big Debb Energy podcast, the podcast where we talk about anything but politics and where we mostly talk about me. And that's why I want to say thank you for coming back and dealing with me for this long. You're awesome. Or you might not be, you might just be some creep, but it don't matter. So, you know, originally when I came up with this idea to have a podcast, which I know a lot of you probably have a huge question. Is this girl nuts? The answer is yes, absolutely. Not diagnosed. But yeah, it's clear, right? But I'm also not embarrassed. And if the message hasn't been made clear, I'm trying to help you all get a little more comfortable with yourselves and who you might not realize that you are. It's okay to not be perfect, and we all need to be more comfortable with opening up because everyone always has to act like they got something to prove out here. I don't know. I'm all about genuineness. Like I love when I first started telling people that I had the idea to create a podcast. My friend's like, "Ooh, you could get your lashes done." Excuse me. I'm like, "Oh, yeah. How about no?" First of all, this is real and raw. I don't need no butterflies on my eyelids. I appreciate some women look really good with them. I got eyelashes actually done once. I did used to once in a while put the fake ones on when I would go out back in my Atlantic City days, which we're going to get into eventually during this podcast. Because I do got some stories, and a few in particular do have to do with not just one but a couple of celebrities that you all may be familiar of. So, yeah, things are going to pop off. So, my point, I did get my eyelashes done once. And this is when I'm all for supporting your friends' businesses, but sometimes, like, you do it and you're like, why? Why am I so nice? I used to be friends with this girl who did eyelashes. And I decided one day, let me support my girl, but I've also never gotten them done before. Maybe it'll give me a little confidence boost. First of all, this bitch like ate chips right before the fact. And I just like every time she touched my eyes, I just felt so like grease, like chip grease. And like they just didn't feel right. Mind you, she's playing music and she's like singing the whole time. So I just hear her singing because she's like leaning over me. Yeah, I felt like there might have been fucking chip crumbs in those lashes. You know, not a great experience, all in all, is where I'm getting at. This same friend also eventually started making makeup. Well, that's what she claimed. I never actually seen these products in person, however, she would talk about it. And she did eventually make a website, which, as a friend, if I had a business and I started a website, I would want one of my friends to buy something, and I don't want to ask them to. It doesn't count when you ask, and it's awkward. So I wanted to support my friend, so I placed an order. Not nothing crazy. I think it came out to $40. And Valentine's Day was around the corner, so I figured let me get a few little gifts. I can make little like Valentines for my two friends. Well, I thought it was odd that first she didn't reach out to thank me for my order. Now, I don't know how this stuff works. I've never had an online website where people would order stuff, so I don't know who sees the notification. I'm under the impression that she knows that I made this, that I placed this order. You'd think the owner would get a notification, especially she ain't branded all worldwide. Like she was running the business. You get the point. So, like a day goes by and I text her. I'm like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I placed an order on your website." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I saw. Thank you." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if you want, instead of shipping it to me, even though I paid for a shipping fee, we could hang out and you could give it to me in person." I just thought, you know, why not? Well, long story short, I never get nothing. We hung out and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I don't have it." Mind you, between all that, she did go through something in her relationship. She moved out, but she never brought it back up. I'm going to be honest. I think the whole time it was a scam. I think this girl actually never made makeup, or she might have attempted to, but at that point when she was letting people place orders, which I don't know, I might be the only smacked ass that placed an order out of the kindness of my heart. But I think it was a scam. I think she knew what she was doing. And it's no coincidence that she is like friends with other people who have tried to scam me and other people that I know. So, it's really fucked up when you try to support a friend and you get betrayed. I can't make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. So, yeah, that kind of started bothering me over time. The fact that she never brought that up, never gave me the money. And she was also the type to where if we went out to eat, when the check would come, she would like look the other way and she'd be like, "Oh, I'll cash app you. Oh, I'll Venmo you. Send it to me now and then I'll pay." Like, send it to me and then I'll put my card down. I'm not stupid. I love when people try to pull that. That's why, if you ask me, unpopular opinion, maybe, I really dislike going out to eat with a big group of people. I despise it. I rather go alone. I rather go out to eat by myself than with 10 people. Honestly, more than 4 is too much. More than 4 people total. Because you could do a double date, or like, it depends on who you're with. But if you got 4 people there, one of them is going to try to scheme. Unless you got a good group of friends with money, successful people, good for you. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten that yet. Okay, no offense to my friends that are cool like that. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I got friends that are cool like that, but we go out to eat just us two. I'm saying when you're in that group, there's always that one, it's a ratio thing. It's statistics. 1 out of 5 people is going to be a piece of shit. That's my logic. Hate it. I hate going out to eat with groups of people. I remember this one time we went to a bar after my friend's mom's funeral. And I look back, I feel like we were acting up way too much considering it was a funeral. One thing I wish I could go back and redo. But one of our good friends left without paying her tab. And she was getting like fucking mixed drinks. I think she got some food too. People are so, like, people act like we're stupid. And some of you fall for it, but like running and leaving real quick and forgetting the pay. No, you know that you ordered stuff and that you owe money. No one walks out of somewhere not remembering to pay. I don't care how distracted you are. If anything, one time I went in Wawa, I ordered my food, And I don't do that a lot. I don't get Wawa food a lot. If I do, it's like the breakfast sandwiches that are already made in the little thing, the sizzlies. But other than that, I don't usually order food on the screen. It's been a while. So I'm not used to it. So one time I ordered the food, I paid for it, and walked right out and started driving away. So you're literally more likely to forget what you paid for than to, I don't, maybe I'm being too hard on people. Excuse me. Excuse me if I just spread awareness. So, what do you think? Do you think that business was a scam? Or do you think she legitimately was going through something and just forgot about the makeup that I gave her $40 for? What do you think? I don't know. Sometimes it takes me a while to process things. As long as like weeks, years, sometimes I just don't think about things the same. And then I revisit it and I'm like, whoa, that's what really happened. I guess I just always want to see the good in people. Even though people try hard not to see the good in me. God forbid I woke up the other day to a reel of me talking about eating coochie. Like all these people shared it, God knows who. But what I want to know is the people that are talking shit. I wonder if when they send my reels, if they also say after that, wow, this bitch got balls. Or if after that, if they say, wow, I can never have the confidence to get in front of a camera and say what she says. I wonder if they mention that part, right? Because they don't. It's called self reflection. Oh, man. So, future plans for me, none that I want to talk about right now. I'm not trying to jinx myself, but just know I'm always trying to do better and be better. I'm thinking about volunteering somewhere. Where? Help me out. Refer me. I would love for it to be with animals. I do prefer animals over people. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. Speaking of, my bongo bear has his last chemo treatment coming up. I'm so proud of him. I can't believe that I've had him for 10 years. I was such a different person 10 years ago, but I'll tell you one thing, he made me less of a piece of shit. Or at least not as sad. I don't know, I was kind of a piece of shit. who really wasn't though? But good people could still do bad things. Even though in my Untold interview I did say I don't like to say that anyone is a good person, I prefer to say they have good intentions, which is true. Because good people that seem like they're good people could still be doing some shady shit behind closed doors. You really don't know. But I did make one mistake in my Untold interview. So if you hear me saying my Untold interview and you have no clue what I'm talking about, I'm going to eventually retell all of those stories, but to be a little more straightforward and transparent, I can't get into the whole thing. You might want to go tune in. If not, it'll all connect. But I do open up a lot about my childhood and how I was introduced to sex at a young age and how it kind of paved a weird path for me as far as my sexuality. And I don't know. I get into a lot of things that a lot of people have done but they don't talk about. Like, for example, I get into how a friend and I, when we were younger, that we, did stuff with each other. And I mentioned how it was common, and not just her and I, but me and other friends throughout the years had, in quotes, played house. And I made a mistake by saying it was between fifth and seventh grade. Fifth grade is old as shit. No, this shit goes way back to like kindergarten. So I did make a mistake. I was nervous. Okay, it might not seem like I was, but a lot was going on. I was talking about a lot. I didn't know where it was going, so I made that mistake. But I think maybe by fifth grade, it started making more sense to me as to what we were portraying. Because in kindergarten and all that, we would dry hump and stuff, but we didn't know what that meant. I don't know. They made it look fun, but yeah. So that's one mistake that I caught watching it back. I definitely didn't paint a clear picture on how long that went for and how often and how common. And I did have a few people that watched it that told me that they've done that, or they know people who have spoken about that. And I think it's really important because a lot of people my age now have children, and even though they are newborns, toddlers, some of them are actually starting to get close to those teenage years. And as I've already expressed, a lot of that happened to me before being a teenager. So you never know when a kid could be introduced to sex and by who. I also didn't get into a lot of the inside details that also occurred in between those events. Like, I didn't fill in the gaps. We only had so much time. The episode's like an hour and a half long. I can't talk about like 25 years worth of shit in an hour and a half. And playing it back, I also was like, oh my god, that led to that, or that caused that. And like I said, this is real. I don't got no script. I'm trying my best to paint a picture, but going back, I realized there's a lot of questions that were left and a lot that wasn't clear. Excuse me. So I will be filling in those gaps. There's a lot that did happen to me in between a lot of crazy shit that I talk about. And you think that's nuts, honestly? Sometimes when I tell people my stories, I feel like they think I'm fucking lying. It's like, I wish. Who would make this up about themselves? If I would make anything up, well, it would be something positive, maybe. I'm not here for a pity party. I'm here to bring awareness. So back to the point is that a lot of people my age have kids, and it's important to know that kids could be introduced to very dark things early in life. You need to be aware. You need to be on their asses, not to the point where you're sheltering them and then they want to act out. You got to kind of read the room a bit, the signs, look back on how you were as a kid. And like, not for nothing, I didn't get the talk, the talk about sex, the birds and the bees, as they would say. I never got that talk. And I don't know how common that is. And I'm sure a lot of parents have different ways of expressing that. But I never got none of it. I told my mom that I knew what was going on. And she thought it was a little soon, but hello. And especially who I learned some of it from. Like, I remember It's clear as day. My mom used to have a friend who lived around the corner. She was a sweetheart, and she was very religious, and that was good for my mom, and it was good for me. We would go to like Sunday school and stuff. And she had a son who was a year older than me. And I remember he came over with his mom and my mom were downstairs, and we were upstairs playing a video game. And he started talking about sex, and he asked me if I knew what sex was, and I was like, kind of. And there was an awkward pause, and then he goes, "Would you have sex with me?" And I was like, "No." And I'll never forget, I just felt so like, oh, violated and disgusted, almost flattered at the same time, too, which is sickening, right? I'm a sick fuck. But yeah, no. And no, if your question is, was he hot? He was not. He was a little overweight, as was I, but he was more overweight. Not that I knock a fat guy, right? But back then, not cute. Not cute. And also, I was like in third grade. Yeah, that shit was wild. So it's just those little times like that, those moments that kind of get like stamped into your brain. And all of that leads you to where you end up. And for me, it was curiosity, for sure. For sure. I used to go to my godfather's house around the corner, and I did see some pictures of him on his computer. He was naked, and that's an image I won't forget. And he always used to say, "Don't look at that. Don't look like, just I would play games on his computer. He'd be like, don't exit out of that. Just stay on that screen. Don't look at anything else." But when you're a kid and someone tells you not to do something, that makes you want to do it even more. So hell yeah, I clicked out of that game, and I was like scrolling through shit. Oh man. Man, oh man. So yeah, when I was asked to testify in court that he didn't rape a boy, of course I knew deep down that he might have done it. Are you screaming right now? Yes. My godfather was a pedophile. He was a fucking pedophile. I didn't know it for a long time. And when I finally did know and found out, I said, well, why do you let me around him? And the answer was, well, Deb, he likes little boys. Oh! Oh, my bad. That makes total sense now, right? So, yeah, my family's pretty interesting. Now do you understand why? Now do you understand why? So, I'll get more into that next time. And I know a lot of you have asked for longer episodes. That is coming for you. Always give me feedback. I promise I won't get offended. And do something for you this week. Cross something off that to-do list. Oh, you don't have a to-do list? Bitch, go make one. Oh, you don't have a pen and paper? Figure it out. Go buy one. Dollar Tree. Take a post-it note from work. Put it in your phone. You got a phone. Make the note in your phone. Stop getting distracted by shit that don't matter. Stop spending your money on stupid shit. Stop hanging out with people that ain't for you. You want to go to the gym? I'll go money. I'll go money. Go now. Go to the gym now. Oh, you want to start eating healthy, but get wheat bread instead of white bread, okay? Get some carrots instead of potato chips. I can only lead you to the water, but I can't force you to drink. Thank you for watching another episode of Big Debb Energy, and I will see you next time.